Hello, and welcome to today's reading vlog, where I'm going to be reading 3 books I predict will emotionally devastate me. First and foremost, we are going to discuss the 3 books that I chose for this week, why I chose them, and what I think my experience is going to be like reading them. First off, we have If He Had Been With Me. Now this book is way chunkier than I think I assumed it would be. I see loads of people cry over this book. Do I really know what goes on in it? Not really. So we have 2 characters, Autumn and Finn, who were once inseparable, but then something changed, or they changed. They just kind of stopped being friends in high school. Autumn wishes they had stayed together and stayed friends and possibly something more. But then as time goes on, I guess something happens. Who could possibly know what might happen to where she regrets not being close to him? So I have predictions as to what I think will happen in this book, but then I also have predictions of how I will feel. 100% is going to rely on the writing and how the characters are developed. I'm a big character girly. I mean, I could have a book with barely any plot and amazing characters and I'll eat it up. Some of you guys were like, I really want to know your thoughts on this because it's so viral, but it let me down. I'm not saying that's what I said yet. Do I predict that I might end up DNFing it? I don't know. I don't know. Oh my god. Next up is Song of Achilles, which I know. How has it taken me this long to read this book? This is the story of Achilles, son of the cruel sea goddess. I'm not going to try to say these names because I am horrible with pronunciation. But then we have Patroclus, who is an awkward young prince exiled from his homeland after an attack of shocking violence. And basically him and Achilles, I love it! But then I know that their love story ends tragically. I have never read Madeline Miller, but I can just assume her writing and her characters are going to be super fleshed out and I'm going to get really attached to them and just love this book. I don't think it's going to reach the level that it has for some other people for me, just because I think I have been anticipating this for so long that I don't know if it could reach my expectations. Just gonna be 100% honest. I get it. I get it. We'll see how I feel about this. I have been neglecting to read this for years. Like, not 4 years, but like 4 years. I couldn't even tell you how many. I was gonna save this one for the summer, and then I was like, oh, well, the sun was finally starting to shine, like here in Washington. Do you see that? That was a bald eagle. That was so f***ing cool. Dude, as soon as I looked outside, he just came over those trees like a freaking eagle. That was so majestic. That just made my day. We do see a lot of eagles out here on the coast, but I have not seen one that close. Back to what we were talking about. Song of Achilles. I think I'm really gonna enjoy this. This has the potential to be a 5-star for me, I think, and that's about it. Next up, we have a book I just got from a little library on a whim. Did not have this on my TBR in the past, but as soon as I saw it, I was like, yeah. Have I seen this movie? No. Do I know enough about it to have picked it up because I was a little bit interested? Yes. We're talking about My Policeman. I know Harry Styles was one of the love interests in this book, and I also know that this is a very devastating love story. That's why it's on this list of emotional turmoil books that I think are going to destroy me. So basically, this takes place in the 1950s where a man, you know, becomes a cop, a police officer. That's why it's called My Policeman. He falls in love with a woman named Marion, but then a few years later, he meets a man named Patrick, and they also fall in love, and it's basically about all 3 of them. You know, Patrick is amazing, shows him the sophisticated new world of art, travel, and beauty, and then Tom is this policeman who thinks it's safer for him to marry Marion and just meet with Patrick in secret. Obviously that's gonna cause some trouble. The last line of the synopsis says, the 2 lovers must share him until one of them breaks and 3 lives are destroyed. Lovely. So you may be asking yourself, Taylor, why? Why books that will destroy you? It's been a while since I've read a book that has had me emotionally invested, so I figured why not read 3 that will destroy me. If a book can make me cry, it most likely will get a 5-star from me. That's just, I don't know what it is about me, but it'll usually end up as like one of my favorite books. I'm hoping that at least one of these 3, maybe 2, maybe 3 out of 3, I could be surprised. will end up being 5 stars for me. I'm a simple gal. I like good writing, good characters, and plots that won't bore me to death. I think we're gonna start this reading week off with If He Had Been With Me. I know that's probably an interesting choice. This one's a lot shorter. How long is this book? I'm blurring my eyes. I'm blurring my eyes. I can't even see. I can't see anything. 391 pages. Also, there will be no spoilers in this video. I will talk about some of how the book is progressing, but I will do my best not to spoil anything in case you do want to check any of these books out. Let's get to reading. Okay guys, yes, I have a blankie on. It's a little cold and I wanted to be comfy and cozy. I am now on page 37 of If He Had Been With Me. So this is my initial thoughts going into this book. Right now we have just got into freshman year for our main characters. Finn and Autumn were friends in elementary school and in middle school. Their moms are like besties. They live next door to each other, but now Autumn is in the weird kids club. Finn is a cool guy, soccer varsity player already in freshman year. So that's kind of the dynamic between the two of them. There's a lot of history and backstory that we are getting. This very much so is just angsty teen energy. It's honestly bringing me back to when I was a teenager. When this book came out in 2013, I was graduating high school. If that's any hint as to how old I am. And I feel like this would have been a really fun book for me to have read when it came out. I think now it's got me hooked a little bit. So I find it interesting. I think we're gonna get a lot of tea, a lot of drama, especially now that our girl Autumn has a boyfriend who I am suspicious about. I am seeing some red flags. Just being a almost 30-year-old woman, I just know things. But I'm liking it so far. I think the writing is actually, it's not like phenomenal. Like I'm not saying it's like incredible literature. I think it's better than trash. So far, we're barely in the beginning of this book, so these are just my very initial thoughts. I said I might DNF it. Right now, I don't think I will. I'm a little bit invested, so I think I'll just keep going. I'm gonna just spend the next couple hours reading, and I will check in with you probably when I'm closer to the middle, so that I can give you guys a better debrief of how this book is going. I am on page 162, which is almost the middle of this book. I kind of wish I was annotating this just because of what I think I would be annotating. There are definitely moments between Finn and Autumn that I think I would be annotating because I really love these small little gestures that love interests do for each other. I swoon, I kick my little feet. Like all it takes is just a little thing where if she's not feeling well, he takes notice and is like helping make her feel better. Like, oh God. I mean, I understand the bar is in hell. I get that, but I love it. I eat it up. The other thing I would be annotating is red flags. I wish I had like a red tab to go with this book, but also for red flags that our homegirl Autumn is thinking to herself, the things that her boyfriend is also doing, because there's so many red flags. I think this is a lot about my age. There are things that these two are doing as a couple that I used to do when I was younger with like people that I had been with in the past. And I think watching back now through the lens of being an adult and a grown woman, I'm just like, girl, run. Literally run for the hills, and also he should be running from you. Like, what is happening? Gosh, the tea is so hot in this book. Not really. Maybe it's not. There's, I would say, a miscommunication trope happening. I was trying to explain it to my husband Trevor, and I was like, I think when other books do this trope, it irritates me and I hate it because usually I'm reading a romance between two grown-ass adults. adults. And I'm like, grow up and speak to each other. In this, I'm like, you're just a baby. You're just literally a child. So I can't really blame you because you are afraid. You haven't experienced enough of life to know that it's okay for you to confess your feelings and nothing bad is gonna happen to you. And even if it does, you're gonna be okay in the end. Let me just pull off of that topic really quick. There's that trope happening and I feel like I am more accepting of it in this circumstance because I'm like, you're kids. I'm about halfway through. I am decently enjoying this book. I'm just gonna continue reading and I'll probably check in with you if something happens because I'm sure something is gonna happen in this little chunk and especially in the ending, I know that. And that's about all I got for you. What? I knew it. I was right. That is insane. I have so much respect for her for doing that. Page 295, chapter 65, I'm about to start. The tea has been spilt, and I think the tragedy is about to ensue. That's how much I have left. I feel like, oh my god, my heart is beating so fast. Stop. Stop! I should just stop reading. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. I thought I'd be cool. I thought I'd be fine. What? Ha! This is the dumbest thing I've ever read in my life. That's how you end it? You're joking. I think I'm just gonna have to like process and report back tomorrow because I'm feeling a lot of things right now and the main feeling is rage. I'll see you tomorrow. After much deliberation, as in 10 seconds later, I've decided, you know what? Let me just tell you guys how I feel about this stupid, dumb book while I'm feeling it. And before I tell myself tomorrow to be nicer. Today I'm gonna be mean. This had potential. If you ripped out the last 17 pages, it could have been good, but it wasn't. Also, I hate that it's matte and you can see all of my fingerprints. I just started reading this, I think at 11 o'clock today, and it's 5:30. Yeah. I read this so fast. I appreciated how fast paced it was. It felt like in one single chapter we would have like days or weeks going by. Like it was just, we were moving, flying through time. I hated the ending so incredibly much. I felt like if the ending was given more pages, like more time dedicated to it, we spent all of this doing what? Like what even actually happened in this first 350 pages? You couldn't have given me a little more, because I think her going through what happens in the end of this, if you'd given me more detail and spent more time with her as a character and seen her develop a little bit into what happens in the ending, I would have appreciated it more. But I don't. I think this is stupid and dumb, and I don't like it. That feels so like amazing and liberating to say. I'm gonna give this 2 stars. I will not be reading the second one. If you like this book, okay, that's great for you. I don't. This emotionally devastated me, not in the way that you would think, but in the way that I am disappointed and really regret my life decisions in spending the entire day reading this. I'm thinking tomorrow we're gonna read something good. We're gonna read Song of Achilles. I don't anticipate that I will read it nearly as fast. I think this is gonna be a little bit more dense. We're gonna have a little bit more prose going on. I think I need that right now. I need a good palate cleanser, and that I think is gonna do that for me. That's enough of that. I'm gonna eat, watch some Criminal Minds, and pretend that that book didn't ruin my day. Well, I've let this book sit for a little while. I still am upset. I still don't like this. I may hate it. I needed a palate cleanser after reading that, so I read my favorite writing of all time, The Six Deaths of the Saint. If you haven't heard me rave about that book, this must be your first video. So I read that last night, annotated it for the first time. That was my third time reading it, and I feel better. I think I'm in a better headspace now. I read some incredible writing. I'm ready to move on. With that being said, I don't know if I'm emotionally ready to read this. It is 11 o'clock right now. I read If He Had Been With Me yesterday. I feel like I just have to move forward and read Song of Achilles and hope it doesn't drag for me. I don't think I will, but just in case I do, I am willing to move on to My Policeman if I need to like take a pause. I already went to the gym. I just had breakfast. I'm basically ready to just read for the rest of the day. I don't know how much my brain can handle it or my eyes. I have not had coffee yet, which I think is hindering me right now, but I ran out of my milk. I just have to push through. This is gonna be hard. I can already tell. It is 3:58 and I am on page 119 and I am really loving this book. The writing is phenomenal. The love. My initial thoughts are that I think it is a little slow. There's a lot of prose, a lot of fluffy writing happening. I had to make myself a coffee to keep my head in the game, if you would. We just hit what I think is going to be our catalyst. We've established the love interests, their love interesting. The conflict has just been introduced. I'm very nervous for what is about to go down. I know there's a big tragedy that happens and I feel like I will have my soul ripped out of me. So I'm very excited for that. I don't really have much to say except for this is meeting my expectations. I wouldn't say yet that it's exceeding them. The characters, if you give me a good character, I'm invested, and the characters are really incredible. The world building, which I know it's Greek mythology, but the world building in general is very easy to pick up on. I thought I would need to have a better understanding of Greek mythology before I read this. I was wrong about that, and I'm glad I was wrong. I'm gonna keep reading, and I will probably do another check-in to let you guys know how it's going, or unless something really crazy happens, which I don't really think that anything crazy is going to happen. This is so night and day from this garbage. It's just, they're not even on the same spectrum. I think rereading The Six Deaths of the Saint last night helped put me in a better headspace to read this. Yeah, I'm gonna keep reading. I'm on chapter 12. I don't know if I'm gonna finish this today. I don't think I'm going to finish this today. I will probably end up finishing this tomorrow, but who knows? If things pick up, I could read this today. I'm on page 167, not much farther since the last time I spoke to you, but so much is happening right now. I saw some of the reviews where like, this book is a lot of like no plot, just vibes. It's a little slow. I'm like, so much tea is happening in this book. Do people read the same book as me? Because I feel like so much drama is going on right now. But yeah, I'm obsessed. I'm annotating a little bit, just the lines that I'm like obsessed with. I'm loving it. I don't know how much more I'm gonna read today. I do have to work tomorrow and I still have to go to the gym tomorrow, but I do plan on finishing this like tomorrow. This is so good and I know I'm gonna cry. I've almost cried a couple times. I love this book and I think it's gonna be a new personality for me. If you've read it, right now where I'm at reading wise, Odysseus is everything I want to be in life. He just is. I think he's so BA and I love him and his energy and I respect him so much. But that's just me talking about right now, where I'm at in the book. Will I say that at the end? I don't know. I think this will be my last update for the day. I'll talk to you tomorrow. Hey. Turns out I don't need to work today. I am gonna go to the gym at some point today. I don't know when that is gonna happen. Song of Achilles. I got to page 208 last night. So much is happening in like fast bursts, I would say. Something crazy will happen and then it'll just kind of taper off and we'll get like fluffy prose and like a little backstory on some of the Greek characters and then bam, something insane is happening. So I have 160 pages left, which I will definitely be finishing today if I read 209 yesterday. I'm really, really loving this. I feel like this could be a new favorite in general, depending on the ending though. A lot is going on. I still adore our love interests and I want nothing but the best and the sweetest things in this world for them. I have been annotating. Here's just a fun line I read yesterday. You can use a spear as a walking stick, but that will not change its nature. Are you kidding? That is such a good line. I read that and I was like, bar. This line, I would know him. Ah! I can't read that line. I'll cry reading that line. Achilles' eyes were bright in the firelight, his face drawn sharply by the flickering shadows. I would know it in dark or disguise, I told myself. I would know it even in madness. And they were talking about that because Heracles is basically Hercules. During his labors, he did not recognize his wife and children and killed them. That's like how the myth goes. And so they were talking about this and how much my main character, I don't know how to really say his name, Patroclus, so I just call him Pat. When I'm talking to Trevor about this book, I just nicknamed him Pat. So Pat is like, oh my gosh, how could he not have recognized his wife and children? And then he thinks that about Achilles. And I'm just like, the love that they have for each other is so deep and real. I'm gonna have my soul ripped out of me. This day will go down in infamy as the day that I was drained of all my soul. I went to the gym, ended up going to Walmart, the thrift store, going to different little libraries with Kayla, and that's what I've been up to. I'm finally gonna sit back down. Like, the last time that you saw me was the last time I read. So I'm gonna just finally sit down, read for a little bit. Hopefully I can get this done today. I've got some work I need to do just for YouTube and whatnot. It is the same day though. I did change because I wanted to wear my hat to the gym, but it is the same day, I promise. Okay, I'm just gonna go ahead and get right into reading. Let's get into it. Hi, Trevor. I can't go on. Oh, I don't want to keep reading. I don't want to keep reading. I can't read. Oh my god. Oh, that is so sad. Oh my god. You're joking. How am I supposed to read 30 pages of this? I get it. I fully get it now. I can do this. I can do this. That's so sad. Are you kidding? You're joking. Stop. I have 4 pages left. I finished it.
Yeah.
I get it. I get it. I've calmed down a little bit. I'd been keeping Trevor up to date on everything that was happening in this book, so I finally told him the last 100 pages or so, and I did cry again. I get it. I understand why this book is so well loved. I think it is worth the hype. I think it is absolutely worth being viral for. I rate it 5 stars, 5.5. I'd rate it 6 stars. It is one of, if not like the most beautiful things I've ever read, aside from the 6 Deaths of the Saint. Nothing will beat that book to me. This is definitely a book I could see myself rereading because I read this in 2 days and I am emotionally devastated. So, you win, Madeline. Look at how happy she looks. She just wants to see me in pain, doesn't she? I think that's all I can say right now before I start crying like I'm about to. The difference between these two books is it's not even comparable on any scale or level. I'm almost ashamed I put them in the same video. What's done is done. Tomorrow, I start my policeman. Luckily, this is the shortest of the 3 options. I'm just gonna process for the rest of the night, do some deep breathing exercises, and try to compose myself. I could definitely be put in a reading slump after reading that beautiful work of art. I'll see you tomorrow. Hey guys. I'm still grieving. I don't feel good today. I don't know why. Could be because I was crying all day about this book. So I'm probably gonna be talking to you guys a little bit less today. About to start my policeman. I'm just kind of numb right now to the world. I'm gonna get to reading now. It's not been that long. I think I read maybe like 13 pages out of this. It doesn't feel like it's for me. I think I anticipated this being written in one of the boys' perspectives. You have Tom, who ends up marrying Marion, but he ends up having an affair with this man named Patrick, and then it's like their love story is what I thought I was reading. I didn't know this was in Marion's perspective from what I was reading, and I skimmed through a little bit more, got like to around here, and it seems like it's pretty consistently her perspective, and the way that it's being written, it just seems very slow and like something that I personally would not find that interesting. I think I'm just gonna DNF this one. I don't know if it's just a combination of the book hangover I have from Song of Achilles. I don't really know what's happening right now. Did I want to end this video better than I'm about to? Of course I did. But I think in hindsight, I should have known better, because there's no way I could have read this and moved on this quickly. So I don't know what I'm gonna read next in my life. I'm grieving. I'm in pain. This felt so real to me. It's the fact that I was like, oh yeah, I'll just pick up a book tomorrow and I'll be fine. No, and this isn't even a book I think I'm gonna like. This was garbage. This was just garbage. I'm gonna end this reading vlog here and just try to process all that transpired this week. I hope at the bare minimum this gave you some entertainment. Maybe if you haven't read Song of Achilles yet, this pushed you to move it up in your TBR. Can't believe it sat on my shelf for that long. I'm never getting rid of this book. Like, I now have a wallpaper dedicated to Song of Achilles. I want to get a special edition someday in my life. If you've read Song of Achilles, just let me know how that went for you. If you liked it, I understand like some people have different preferences, so you may not have liked it as much as I did, may not have reacted like I did. Maybe you did. Maybe you were even more dramatic than I was. Either way, I would love for you to comment down below. Comment a book emoji. It could be any book emoji that you want. I will reply with a quote, whether it's motivational, inspirational, etc. Like this video if you enjoyed it. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on post notifications so you get notified every single time that I post a new video, because I am going to be going to Little Free Libraries and dropping these off along with the other 37 books I still have to drop off. That video will be coming soon. Thank you so much for sticking this long with me. I really did have a good time reading, even though I'm emotionally devastated. That was my goal. I accomplished it, you know? That's all I got. So I'll see you in the next one. Bye!